Hi, and welcome to Reel Doofs. I'm Drew,
I'm Brian.
And I'm Laura.
and this is our pop culture movie podcast where this is like 95 episodes in at this point, 96. So you should hopefully know what the fuck we do here. But yes, we do watch movies that one, two, or three of us have not seen that have had some sort of impact on pop culture. Whether it's Jaws, whether it's a Jackass movie, we watch them all. So
If this is your first episode, I'm assuming that this is your favorite movie of all time because you scrolled through the feed and
Yes.
you're like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm starting with this one because this is my favorite movie.
And then Drew's also like, why the fuck are you here if you haven't listened to us?
yeah, like come on, don't you fucking know anything about us at this point? Welcome, glad to have you. But yeah, today is a good one because we are actually doing. Sometimes we do things that haven't resonated in pop culture for the longest time. Sometimes we do some like really good stuff, and whether or not like we love it or not, it's still. This one is a pop culture hit, and it is a classic, 80s classic. Today, my friends, we are watching 1986's Crocodile Dundee.
Nice.
Good year.
Yes,
It's my birthday.
see, good year for all here.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Thank you, Brian. That's going to be a question later. How many times does someone say "nar"? Anywho, before we start this, though, I want to play a little guessing game,
Oh, boy.
and I'm not going to keep score. It's just fun. We'll go through the whole thing. The game is called "Is it Australian or New Zealand?"
Oh, boy.
No.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
I'm going to give you mostly famous people's names and occasionally a thing that comes from either Australia or New Zealand.
Okay.
And I would just like you to tell me where you think this thing comes from.
All
We'll
I
start
know
off-
is that they like really don't like when they get mixed up.
Correct.
So
Correct,
I'm
Laura.
nervous.
We're
They
about to
don't like that.
We're about to bomb. Our ratings are about to tank
Yeah.
in both countries.
Yes.
So apologize in advance.
Don't worry. I will berate you if you get it wrong to keep those numbers flowing to help, go.
The only
Um,
leg up I may have is at work many years ago. I've worked with a lot of Australian customers for that. Like,
Well, I'm
short
not going to be
period
doing
of time,
accents.
so-
So it's not going to be like that.
But if it's famous people, yeah.
yeah,
All right,
so-
let's go.
We'll start it off, and I'm going to throw the first two are pretty easy ones. Okay, so let's start it off. Steve Irwin.
Oh, Australia.
Now I'm so unsure.
Brian's
of
very
myself.
confident
I
about it.
Very
know.
positive.
Okay, I'll say Australia.
Ding, ding, ding! You're
Okay.
correct.
Now I'm gonna
Yes,
overthink
Steve
it.
Irwin, from Australia. Okay,
He's the
Next-
crocodile hunter. He
He's
could
the
not be from anywhere else.
right.
True.
Okay,
Very
here's another
true.
one. Here's another easy one. Okay, Peter Jackson.
I don't know who that is.
He's the
Mm,
director of
New
the Lord of the
Zealand.
Rings.
Oh, New Zealand.
New
Okay.
Zealand. Right. Great job. You're doing great. Now it's going to get into more let's not call it difficult, but just it's going to go more, okay? Here we go. Heath Ledger. Australian or from New Zealand?
I didn't know he
I-
wasn't American.
Oh,
I'm gonna
wait
say
till the
New
next one.
Zealand.
New Zealand.
New Zealand? I think Australian.
You're playing it right, to do one or the other cuz that way someone's going to be right. Heath Ledger is from Australia. He was
Oh,
from Australia. Yes.
okay.
All right. Now I'm going to throw a really interesting one at you. Kate Blanchett.
The fuck?
Yes, Kate Blanchett is not British, if that's what you were thinking.
I'm gonna say New Zealand again.
New Zealand.
I'm gonna say Australia.
I feel like I'm wrong.
Ding, ding, ding. One of you is right. She is Australian.
Damn it.
Yes. All right.
She's too tall to be from New Zealand.
I'll
What
throw-
does that have to do with anything?
I'll throw another easy one at you, okay? Lord of the Rings. Where was Lord of the Rings made?
New Zealand.
New Zealand. Brian, you
New
agree?
Zealand.
New Zealand. Great. Okay. Where was Lord, the singer, made?
Made.
New Zealand.
I'm gonna say New Zealand. If I just
New
keep
Zealand.
saying New Zealand, I'll get it right.
Yeah, exactly. Great job. Great job. We're halfway done. Okay. Um, where are Ugg boots from?
Australia.
Those are Australian.
Yeah, those are Australian. Good job. Good job. Um, how about Anna Paquin? Where's Anna Paquin from?
Why can't I picture who she is?
Did you ever see that movie where she flies the geese home? She's like Fly Away Home. She flies
Oh,
all
yeah,
the
yeah.
geese.
The geese?
Brian, I know you would know her from like
Rogue
Rogue
from
from
X-Men, right?
X-Men. Yeah,
I
but
know who. I
there's
know Fly Away Home.
yeah, that's where I was going. Or
Okay.
True Blood. She was the lead in
Oh,
True
yeah.
Blood.
Okay.
Yeah.
New Zealand.
You're right. Sorry, Brian, I didn't even give you a chance. New Zealand. I was just so excited for you. All right, I have a couple more, okay? Russell Crowe. Where's Russell Crowe from?
He's Australian.
Australia.
He's New Zealand.
Oh.
He's from New Zealand, my friends.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 left. Okay. Bluey. Where is Bluey from?
That's Australia.
I've never seen Bluey. I'll go with Brian. Australia.
Correct. Bluey is from Australia. Laura, you don't know what you're missing. It's
How do you know
incredible.
that, Brian?
We did like a thing at work on my
Okay.
team.
All right,
Gotcha.
here's the next one. Manuka honey. Where does Manuka honey come from?
I don't know what that is either.
It's a special raw honey. It's like very, very good for you. It's very expensive.
I'm gonna say New Zealand.
I'm gonna say New Zealand as well.
Well,
I don't think
you
there's any bees in Australia.
are correct. It comes from New Zealand. All right. Now, this one may be a tricky one. The actor Sam Neill. Sam Neill was Dr. Alan Grant in Jurassic Park.
Ooh.
Okay.
Now, this is the crazy thing. He considers himself a citizen of either Australia or New Zealand, but he was born in Ireland. But he grew up in either Australia or New Zealand. Australia or New Zealand.
I'm gonna say New Zealand.
I'm gonna say New Zealand as well.
Quick typing there, huh, Brian? Just kidding. He didn't type anything. Correct. New Zealand.
Like he's sitting back in
Yes.
his chair.
And the final one is a man named Paul Hogan. I'll tell you who Paul Hogan is after you make your random guess.
Australia.
Paul Hogan. Australia?
Australia.
He's got an Australian kind of sound to it,
Yeah.
right? Well, you're correct. And Paul Hogan is the star of this
Crocodile
movie.
Dundee, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
He is Crocodile Dundee. All right. We did it, y'all. You did pretty good. I'm going to say more than 50-50, 60-40. So our friends
I'll
from
take it.
Australia and New Zealand, please don't get
Don't
upset
be
with
mad
us.
at us. Yeah.
We tried our best. All right, so let's jump in. Crocodile Dundee is a movie from 1986 from director Peter Feynman. And I'm curious, Brian, because Laura, I know you've seen this, but you haven't seen it in a long time.
Yes.
Brian, you have never seen this movie.
Never.
With the title Crocodile Dundee, what genre do you think this movie is?
I think that you originally pitched this as our Valentine's Day episode.
Correct.
So I have to imagine that this is a romantic comedy.
Okay, I will tell you that romantic comedy is not one of the genres listed on
Really?
Amazon,
Okay.
but
Really?
I put romance down because there is definitely a little bit of romance.
It's
Okay.
like the same vibes as Romancing the Stone, kind of.
I was
is
gonna say
very
rom-
much.
I was gonna list that movie as like a reference.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
However, I will say this: there are actually 3 Crocodile Dundee movies. The first 2 were smash hits in the 80s, and I think first one was 80. I think it was second one was 88 or 89, maybe
Yeah,
90.
okay.
But the first 2 came out fairly soon. The last one was like Crocodile Dundee in L.A. came out in like the early 2000s, I think.
Okay.
There was a long gap. That one's shit. But the first movie has a very different feel than the second movie. So in reference to Romancing the Stone, that was like that had a very special certain feel to it. And then they did a second one called The Jewel of the Nile, which was different, same kind of like genre across all ways, but a different thing they were looking for. They weren't looking for stones, they were looking for this jewel in the Nile.
Mm.
This is a little different. The first movie has a specific feel. The second movie, they do a whole different thing, and it's like there's guns in the second movie. There's like crazy stuff happening. So, just throwing that out there. This is not the same thing as Romancing the Stone. I'm just gonna say that.
Okay.
Okay, Brian. No, before we actually go into what it's about, when and where do you think it takes place?
80s. I think it takes place.
Present day to when it released?
Yep, present day
Got
to
it.
when it released.
I agree.
I think it takes place in a couple of locations. I
Okay.
think we see. I think there are some scenes in Australia
Okay, great.
in the Dundee's natural habitat, and then I also think we get New York. I think he goes to New York City.
Oh yeah? Is he like
New York City? I can tell you the whole plot if you're ready for that. But
were you about to say New York City?
yeah.
Yes, I am actually ready for the plot, but I want to just check with Laura first. Do you agree with that? Australia and New York?
I was going to have the same guess actually, because
Perfect.
I know that there is like he goes to some city and he doesn't like really fit in, but I couldn't remember if it was LA or New York. And then you said the third one movie was about LA, so I'm like, oh, it has to be New York,
Yes.
probably.
Perfect.
So, yeah,
Okay, great.
spot on.
So, what this movie's about? I will tell you this: the actual everywhere I looked for a plot synopsis is so basic that I don't think I could even tell you what this movie's about right now. So I'm ready for this. Brian, start us off. Laura, chime in, throw some things in too whenever you feel the mood set. But let's do it.
So I think the plot is, and this is out of my own brain because I don't think I know fuck all about this movie.
My own brain. Okay.
But I think that I think that there is like a very rich Tiger King-esque guy in New York who owns part of like the Central Park Zoo or something like that, and he wants to have a crocodile in his apartment. So he needs his assistant to go find like a professional crocodile wrangler. And this is a woman because it's the 80s and women can't be CEOs in the 80s. They can only be CEO assistants. So she goes to Australia to find a crocodile wrangler and meets the Crocodile Dundee, who's actually not that good of a crocodile tamer. There's like a better guy, but she happens to bump into this guy first. They go back to New York and he wrangles a crocodile into this guy's apartment and it gets out. And now the assistant and the Dundee have to like go all around New York. And there's like a crocodile in the subway. And you saw a little bit of him doing all the same techniques in Australia, but now he's doing it like in the urban jungle. That's
That
the
was
whole
like
movie.
so specific.
That's the whole movie. So then they wrangle the crocodile, but then they also, when they find the crocodile, they also find love with each other, not with the crocodile.
I love that so much.
I think that was beautiful, Brian. Is there anything you want to add to that?
Is there a fucking talking kangaroo in this?
Talking,
or like an emu that like attacks him or something? Maybe both.
I think there is in the sequel. I think a kangaroo shoots a gun at somebody in a very serious manner.
Jesus.
Like
Okay.
I think it's like a trap.
I don't remember that at all.
I think I might be getting things confused with Kangaroo Jack.
You are definitely getting things confused with Kangaroo Jack, but not completely. You did a really good job here, Laura. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I can't remember why he goes to New York, and like I think the woman is in Australia, and I for some reason like maybe she's like writing a book or something. I don't know. And she meets is his name Dundee? Like is that his last name? His first name? It must be his last name.
His first name's Dunn. His
We'll
last
just
name's
have to
D.
see.
but I can't. His first name's Don. I don't know why she brings him back to New York. Maybe I feel like she's never like met any. He's almost like a spectacle. It seems like
Yeah, you gotta
She's
bring
like,
back a souvenir.
yeah, like come back to New York so I can show you to all my friends, kind of thing. But is he
Wrangle this
missing?
crocodile for my friends.
Is he missing a leg? Does he get eaten by an alligator or something? I'm trying to remember because he like walks with a limp or something. And then he always has a knife. That's what I remember.
Yeah, big knife.
Yeah. But I'm like, what could
It's,
he
like,
be doing
jagged
in
on
New
one
York
side.
that yeah, I think he does like a lot of
Brian, I
things
think
with
the word
the
you're
knife.
looking for is serrated.
Yeah,
Jagged
jagged.
on one side.
But I think he does a lot
But
of
not
things
like in a
with
bread knife way.
the knife like out in public where people are like, holy shit, what is he doing with the knife? But he just doesn't know how to act not out in the why do I keep wanting to say the jungle? It's not a jungle in Australia. What is it called? Like
The outback.
the outback. Yeah. So he's just very out of place. And she's like, oh, Dundee, you're adorable.
I think I definitely spiked on that. Sorry, Brian. I laughed too hard.
And he must get in some sort of trouble in New York. And
Okay, sure.
yeah. And then they do fall in love in the end.
Okay. It's the 80s. Does anyone do drugs?
I'm sure there's got to be some
in New
drugs.
York, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's got to be some cocaine.
Some cocaine for sure.
He's probably like, what is
Off the back of a crocodile.
Yeah. Off his big knife.
And a big knife. What are some other things you think might happen in this movie?
I think he hops on top of a taxi. I think he rides a taxi, but on top of it.
Are you sure you've never seen this, Brian?
It just feels like something someone from
you
Australia
sure?
would do.
Does he do
He
that? I
hops
don't
on
remember.
top of a taxi. Okay.
I think we're gonna get all the like cliche words, like Australian slang, and now I'm blanking on thinking of one.
Shrimp on the bobby.
Good day, mate.
Yeah.
I might.
So we got to talk about walkabouts at some point.
Definitely going to talk about walkabouts.
Yeah. I think we do see a kangaroo. We have to.
We have to see a kangaroo.
And some crocodiles, obviously.
And some crocodiles. Why would it be called Crocodile Dundee without some crocodiles?
Yeah.
Okay,
I think he's got cool boots.
Ooh,
like snakeskin boots.
Cool
I think
boots.
he does. He has crocodile boots from the crocodile that bit his he
leg
like
off?
wrestled. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Maybe.
coming back to me. If
Okay.
not, then I just totally made that up in my head.
I love it, and I hope it happens.
Oh wait, no, that's in Romancing the Stone.
It is, yeah.
Oh,
but it's
damn
okay.
it.
It's okay.
I think Danny DeVito shows up.
That would be fantastic.
He's the Tiger King CEO.
So this is specifically for Brian because Laura, this is probably one of the most known lines in the movie, so I don't want you to guess it right away.
I might not know.
But Brian, finish this quote. Fill in the blanks for me, okay? I'm not only going to say the quote, I'm going to describe an action that happens immediately after, okay? Here's your quote. I'll try to do the Australian accent too. That's not a. Pulls out his bigger one. That's a.
Knife. These are both in references to a knife.
Yeah.
I should have been more aggressively like perverted with that. I thought you were gonna go like, be like, "That's weird. Why did he pull his bigger one out?" But okay, I would tell you, yes, that is the famous quote. One of the more famous quotes. They originally did not like the line. They didn't think it read. When they on the script, they didn't think it was funny. But when it came out, it was actually like the perfect thing.
I'm now thinking that there probably has to be a porn parody of that out there somewhere.
Crocodile Dundee. It's very possible.
I bet. Oh my
It's
god.
very possible.
Crocodile Dundee.
Oh, that's a good one too. That's very good. Okay.
That should be our next game of just coming up with porn parody names.
We should do that. One of the next games we'll do, we'll go through like a list of last year's movies and see like if who comes up with a better porn name. It's gotta
My
be
favorite
quick though.
one of all time is The Sexorcist. That's a real one.
That's good.
All right.
I mean, I still see the link to Edward Penis Hands in
Yes.
our Discord
Yes.
chat every
Yes.
time I send you
Edward
guys
Penis
something.
Hands.
It's amazing. All right. Well, those are
Ah.
all the things I had for you. So I am ready, if you are, to go on this adventure.
I am ready to
I'm ready.
Dundee.
Ooh, I think we're gonna hear, and this will be our segue, the song. I come from a land down under.
Yes.
We'll hear that song at some point.
If you don't put it into this right after.
Let's
All right, let's do it. Let's get Crocodile Dundee.
do it.
Deep. Is that
a
a
Foster's?
Foster's?
Wow, that's Australian for beer. It's Brian. It's like when he's wrangling the crocodile in his room, in the CEO's room.
Yeah, this is the foreshadowing.
Exactly. Without asking? Okay.
Looks like he would smell.
He looks like he'd smell bad, did you say?
Does he not? Hey, look at that guy. Like, what are they doing?
Just, hey, look at that guy.
They're so dirty.
He's in the bush. Of course he's going to be dirty.
They not shower?
It's like crocodiles are probably one of the reasons that and alligators, I don't want to go in any body of water anymore. Unless it's like my pool or my, or my bathtub.
What about a lake? There's nothing in a lake.
Sure there are.
We're
they're
in like
here.
the northeastern part
Yeah.
of the U.S. I don't think there's any crocodiles.
Might have to worry
First
about like
off-
a water moccasin's like the worst of your trouble.
Okay, first off, down the street from me, there's a place called Reptiles, and they have a huge crocodile in the building. So don't tell me there aren't crocodiles nearby.
Best pupil I ever had.
Wait, they have a
You ready,
crocodile?
A huge crocodile. You can actually pay to watch it be fed. Oh yeah, this is a kangaroo. There is a kangaroo with a gun.
Really?
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I
The
think they're
80s?
poaching kangaroos.
The 80s and the 90s were a wild time for movies.
It's not really like it's him, but I think I don't know if there's a dead kangaroo that he's using or what. Pretty sure. Yeah, see?
That's so insane. Why is it so like stiff? If you flop
Rigor
it
mortis
around.
set in.
Yeah.
Good one, Skippy.
And now we'll eat ya.
Can't let it go to waste. That was. Imagine putting that in a movie nowadays.
Yep.
So good. What are those animals?
Geese, I think.
I want to know how old he's supposed to be here.
He's probably supposed to be 30, and he's obviously not.
That's
30.
what I mean. He is a hunky boy, but
I think the math is 46 years.
Is that the math?
look at him
It is.
shaving with his fucking.
Yeah, he just pulls that thing out when she walks over. Got his little baby one.
How?
I would not bother shaving. He's not even bothering to wear a shirt. Why would you bother shaving?
In front of him.
Yeah.
This is the 80s. She's powerful. She can do what she wants.
Let's eat.
She wants to play the field.
Yeah, but poor
If she
guy.
wants to rub in the bush, that's fine.
Something without
Wants to what?
Jump, rub.
I heard rub the bush.
That was a little Australian innuendo, my friends.
I gotcha.
live on it, but it tastes like shit.
Oh, I would. I don't like a
You really want
New
some
York
street
hot
meat right
dog.
now?
Really bad, yeah.
Get that street meat.
Some late night glizzies.
The best like food like that from a kind of street vendor that I ever had was in Springfield, outside of what was the strip club?
I thought you were gonna.
Mardi Gras, and it was like a cheesesteak grinder vendor. It was so good.
Oh.
I still think about it. It's like probably like 20 years ago.
So many people around, he would have hit someone else.
Why do you always make me feel like Jane in a Tarzan comic?
What was that noise?
That was the moment she realized she loved him
I'm in
forever.
love with it. What year did Romancing the Stone come out? Because this is like the exact same vibes.
Oh, he just went for a butt grab. Look at that.
Ooh. Well, she does have that song.
What?
So.
84 to
84.
87. Yeah.
84.
Uh-oh. Look at that computer.
Wow.
She was like, I was down under those nuts last night.
When you were away, I did some thinking.
Sorry, Brian's reaction made me more happy than anything. And that was Crocodile Dundee. What do we think?
It was good. It's in the vein of like refreshing 80s movies, where it just kind of it's done at a certain point.
Starts and
that's it.
ends.
Yeah, it has a beginning, it has an end. This one's unique in that it didn't have much of a middle.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still. Yeah. There wasn't a storyline. Really.
Processing the movie. Yeah, yeah. Do you want to know what the actual synopsis was that I could find? That was like
Yeah.
a not way too long one, or not like a one sentence one.
Mhm.
It just says American reporter Sue Charlton travels to the Australian outback to meet eccentric poacher Mick Crocodile Dundee and invites him to New York, where he comes face to face with the complexities of modern life. Can this bushman adapt?
Oh,
It makes it sound like much more is going to happen than it actually.
No.
yeah.
Can he adapt?
No.
No.
And
I mean, it
and,
was
like,
fun. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a good half of the things that happened that were like entertaining, and then there was another half that were just like
Cringe?
cringy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, slightly. But back in the 80s, man, it was fun.
Oh,
was
see,
fun
I
to
was going to
just-
say, even for back then, I feel like they were cringy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, they weren't. You may think they were, but I beg to differ. Because this was the second highest grossing film of 1986.
Wow.
Really?
get
The first.
Yeah. I will tell you that when we get a little further
Okay.
down.
That
But
was
yeah.
that just an awful year for movies? Like,
No.
what?
In fact, all right, I will tell you this one then. Crocodile Dundee was the second highest grossing film in 1986. Platoon, which I think won Best Picture, was the third biggest film of the year, with Top Gun coming in first.
Okay, that makes
So,
sense. Yeah.
It was not a terrible year for movies. It was just people wanted to be entertained, and a fish out of water story did it pretty well.
Yeah.
Dundee took in $177 million in the US alone and $353 million worldwide. I did not check the budget, but I would be surprised if it was anything more than $20 to $35 million. I will
Yeah,
check
because there
that,
wasn't
but-
really that much going. Like,
Yeah, and this was also it was kind of a foreign film because Fox refused to buy the rights to it. That's why Paramount ended up getting it. Yeah, kind of interesting. Crocodile Dundee. Um, let me see here. The budget of the film was, oh man, I was way off. $8.8 million
Oh, jeez.
was the budget, and grand total box office is 328 million in the end.
So that's why we got a shooting kangaroo.
That's why we got a shooting kangaroo. Brian, what was your favorite part? The kangaroo. Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I think the kangaroo part's pretty good.
All the crotch grabbing.
All that was Brian. Brian was salivating when that was happening. He was like every time I saw him sweating and wiping his eyebrows slightly.
I don't know. I think like the first bar scene was pretty wild, where you first where she's like first experiencing the whole crew down in
Down under,
or whatever,
where they're all super dirty.
Wonderland.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they're all smelly and dirty according to Laura.
Yeah.
All Australians are smelly and dirty according to Laura.
That's what this movie makes me think.
My favorite parts were all the heated sexual tension between Sue and Mick Dundee, and all of the gaslighting that he did to her to make her feel inferior.
So much gaslighting.
And to make her feel like she was doing something wrong being a strong woman.
But she also, like, I really hate to use this term of being
You're
a
gonna do it.
tease,
Oh yeah,
but what was she doing? Like, come on.
She was having fun. Laura, she's allowed to do that.
She can do whatever she wants, but
She did several times.
yeah. I don't
Played
know.
with Richard's heart, played with Dundee's heart. She's a player.
Yeah. And
She
you
knows
know
how to
what?
play.
You know what? I guess she wasn't hiding it. She wasn't
No.
hiding the fact. Well, from what's his name? She
From
was.
Richard. Yeah.
But from Dundee,
You know, if
she
you
was
bothered to ask.
just,
true.
That's true.
Yeah, all that guy was doing was just touching her face all day long. It was like, guy, come on. Let's
Yeah.
put our hands down for just a minute, please. Yeah, you saw that he was doing one of these, like that's not a kissing thing. Like trying to, yeah, it's like a
grab the lower jaw.
Yeah,
so they can't
exactly.
move.
Like, was he trying to pick like grapes off a tree? Like he's just trying to like, I don't know, with her chin? Didn't make sense. Anyway, it's definitely a silly and fun movie.
Yeah.
and it's just,
I think my favorite parts were like when he is doing, goofy things in New York when he's washing his clothes in the bathtub with himself,
yeah.
which is okay. I'm like, why would he do it and just not wash them separately? But he's probably saving water. Like, you only have limited
probably doesn't even
resources.
realize. Yeah. He doesn't even realize that someone will take the laundry.
Yeah.
And he would probably be mad if they did.
And like when he has his hat and his boots and his towel on and all his clothes are drying. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Just fun. Good times.
I think one of my favorite scenes is honestly when she is teasing him in the bathroom, because I don't know why. I was probably only like 5, somewhere between 5 and 10, and I was like, wow, the female form. Like I was like, when she
Look
throws
at that
her leg up
leg,
there,
yeah.
and I'm like, why is he so embarrassed? Like, yeah. I like, the funny thing is like watching it now, this is the first time I've watched it in probably 20 years. I would think maybe 15 to 20 years, probably 20 at this point, maybe longer. I don't think I watched it when I was 20. I think I watched it, last time I watched it, I was probably like 15.
Yeah.
I must have been even
like a
younger
kid.
than that. I could
Yeah.
have even been younger, because I can't remember how much side boob she threw around in that little skimpy suit.
You're like, I would definitely remember that.
that probably would have sparked some imagination. And then there wasn't much needed for imagination when she was like, I'm just going to take off the little skirt thing and have my ass hanging out. Like, so I don't know. I must not have been
Too
really
funny.
like, I don't know, but still, like now I was like, holy shit, that happened.
Yeah, I remembered nothing really.
Yeah.
From this at all.
I remember the crocodile attack. I remember him perving on her,
I feel like our guesses were pretty. I mean,
would you like to hear your guesses?
I think Brian had a better plot
Well, than what the actual movie
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, let me just throw some of these things out. You said what was the genre, and Brian said romantic comedy, and it does come up as adventure comedy. And I threw
which I think
romance in there because there's
that might have been what like Romancing the Stone was too. It could be
Yes, yeah.
adventure
Mm.
comedy. Yeah.
Where does it take place? Both of you with the Australia and New York. Just didn't realize that half of the movie was in Australia and the other half was in New York. All right. What's the movie about? Now, I did my best to mute myself and say exactly what Brian was saying in speech to text while Brian was saying it. So this is
What?
as close as I can get to what Brian said. What's the movie about? I don't know fuck all about this movie. There's a very rich
Did
tiger.
you actually say that?
Yes. There's a very rich Tiger King guy in New York who owns part of the Central Park Zoo, and he wants to have a crocodile in the zoo, and he needs his assistant to go find a professional crocodile wrangler. And this is a woman because of this. This is the 80s, and women have to be assistants in the 80s. So she goes to Australia to find a crocodile wrangler and meets the Crocodile Dundee, who's not very good at crocodile taming, but she bumped into him, and they are going to New York, and he wrangled a crocodile in the guy's apartment, and he gets out, and it gets out, and he has to go all around New York, and there's a croc in the subway, and he's doing all these techniques from Australia in New York in the urban jungle, and to wrangle the crocodile. And they also fall in love with each other.
I mean, come on.
I mean,
that's pretty
he
much
was
the
doing
movie.
Australian techniques in the urban jungle.
Not with the
He
crocodile,
was.
but with the woman. Talking kangaroo, Kangaroo Jack. Am I confusing this with Kangaroo Jack? The woman is in Australia and she's writing a book or something, and she meets Dundee. Is that his name? Does he actually? This is your part now, Laura.
Yeah.
Does he actually have a last name? Is he called Dundee? I don't know why she brings him back to New York. Maybe she's never met anyone like him. She thinks he's a souvenir.
I mean, that's kind
She
of not
fucking
wrong.
does.
Yeah.
She shows
She pretty
him
much
off
was
to
like,
all the friends.
It's gonna be good for the
Mhm.
paper.
She
Come
does
back
that.
with me.
and he's
Yeah.
missing a leg. Was it eaten off by an alligator? He always has a knife, a big knife. It's like a jagged on one side. It's like all jagged
It
on one
wasn't
side.
though. It was
wasn't.
smooth.
It was, yeah. He does a lot of things with the knife in public. He doesn't know how to act in public. Whew. That was my interpretation of what you all said.
Wow.
Oh, did pretty good. Yeah.
So
So the only thing we got wrong was the knife wasn't jagged. No.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the main plot of a Tiger King rich guy in New York who owns part of the Central Park Zoo and wants to have a crocodile in the zoo. I will not award points
I
for
know.
that. But
Mhm.
most of the rest is correct, especially the part that says, I don't know fuck all about this movie. So what are some things that might happen in this movie? Cocaine and a big knife. So
Whoa,
accurate.
Man.
got both of
Yes.
those?
Wait, where was the cocaine?
The guy at the party who was sniffing cocaine, and then he thought the guy had a nasal issue, so he dumped it into a bowl and put hot water in
went
there.
over my head.
And then she says to him, "That's a drug. He's doing drugs. You sniff it." And he's like, "Oh, why?" And yeah. Anyway, it's a quick scene.
Okay.
He hops on top of a taxi.
Did that happen?
I
He
thought
hopped
he
on
did.
top of people's heads, but
Yes, I thought he got on top of a taxi, but I guess I
don't
was
think
wrong.
so.
So we would hear cliche Australian accents, definitely going to talk about walkabouts. Half the
Mhm.
movie was talking about walkabouts. We have to see kangaroo and crocodiles. Those are the only two animals we pretty much saw in this movie.
Yeah.
And like a cow and some dogs. We have to see this. Why would it be called Crocodile Dundee without crocodiles and cool boots? So yes,
He did
awesome.
have boots. Yeah. They were
And then-
alligator boots, but he had boots.
And then we want to finish the quote. That's not a blank. That's a blank. Also pulls out his bigger one. Knife, correct. It was a knife.
I mean, it could have been.
Yes, it
you
could
were
have.
thinking. All the sexuality going on in this movie.
Yeah.
So you had asked earlier if this movie was based on like somebody.
Yeah.
So it was likely inspired by this guy named Rod Ansel, who was on a, just listen to the similarities. Okay. He was on a fishing trip in 77 and his boat capsized thanks to a crocodile. He spent the night drifting out to sea though, before he finding himself on an island offshore in of the someplace I can't pronounce in Australia's Northern Territory. He spent 7 weeks surviving on his wits, including drinking cow's blood before he was rescued. In the year 2000, however, Paul Hogan said that
Oh.
that the belief that there was a real Crocodile Dundee is just a myth, that he did not base it on anyone.
When I didn't hear like the space when you said when he was rescued, and
In the year 2000.
2000, I was like, wait, he was gone for that long?
Yeah, right?
Okay, so it's just
It could
he
be
probably-
coincidental.
he probably
It
made the
could be
movie,
good.
and then someone came out and was like, I did
This
this.
happened.
This happened to me. Yeah.
Maybe, because that happened in 77. There was a big thing, and this was 86. But supposedly, he got the idea for the movie when he first visited New York from Australia, and he was literally not all the funny things sort of happened to him, and he just exaggerated them just, to some degree. But like an Australian man who's never been in a city going to New York is that silly sort of, that's where he thought about the movie. And then Paul Hogan and Sue, her last name is Kozowski. Well, anyway, they got married in real life from after
Aw.
this. Yes, and they were actually married in 1990. They had a son named Chance, and she filed for divorce in 2013. So they were actually married for quite some time. You sad they got divorced, Laura?
No, I
Or
want
are you sad they're married?
No. I want to
She
see.
stole my man. That tease.
I want to see the age difference between them.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
So let's see. She was born in. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, no, I just. I'll keep it to myself. She was born in 1958. She was born in Fairfield, Connecticut.
Wow.
And he was born in 1939. So 20 years age difference, pretty much.
Poor Paul Hogan.
1939 sounds like he's
A long
passed
time
away
ago?
since, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's closer. We're closer to 2039. It's
Oh.
It's coming up.
That's crazy.
So, poor Paul Hogan's gonna be, he's gonna be 90 in 4 years. So he's
Well, he
86.
won't
Okay.
be because he passed away.
Paul Hogan?
Yeah.
When did he pass away? A couple years ago?
Wait.
I thought he was
just-
still.
Oh wait, maybe not.
He was in a movie about.
Okay,
like-
no, I was wrong. Oh, I was Googling. Apparently, the alligator in the movie passed away. Never mind.
That's funny.
The original poster for this film, it's not too. You can't really tell which buildings he is
Oh,
pushing apart as he
yeah.
pops out of the
Oh, on the poster.
yes, the original poster. Yes,
Is it the Twin Towers?
it could be. I see the. I mean, it's like they try to put a lot of famous buildings there,
Yeah.
so you can see.
Yeah, they're,
like
like,
I see the
mirrored.
Empire State Building and. But yeah. Anyway, so those are my fun little facts for you all. And we talked about that. So let's. Should we reel out that doof meter?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Mm.
What the hell is that? What is that?
It's Laura, it's the patented doof meter. So our doof meter
Brian looks
is
so happy.
our movie rating system. It is a 1 through 5 rating. 1 being, it's a movie, and 5 being, wow, I'm a true doof for not seeing that movie. We'll start with Brian, who had never seen the movie before.
Okay.
I think this is it's probably like a solid 3.
Okay.
I was thinking about it. I think that it's probably more like influential than anything. I don't think that, like, as the contents of a film, I don't think I benefited much from having seen it. Probably won't watch it again. Probably wouldn't watch it with anyone else.
That's fair.
But and also there's a good chunk of it that just has not aged well. But
Sure. Don't let
having
that
gotten
stop you.
so close to so many of the like the references and stuff like that, I think that there's a lot from this that I've seen sort of in other things since then. So I can appreciate the cultural impact, I guess.
Sweet. Okay. I'll go with it. Laura, how about you?
I think I'm actually going to give this a 2.
Ooh.
Just because I think, like Brian said, there are things that you probably like know about the movie, or you just know like Crocodile Dundee, but I don't know that you necessarily need to see the movie. Little honk.
Sorry. Doof meter's slipping away. I had to reel it back.
The doof meter's malfunctioning. But yeah, I don't know that seeing the movie, I think you would still know just the same amount of stuff that you knew about it from pop culture from seeing the movie.
Okay.
But it was fun. Yeah. I don't, same with Brian. Like, I don't know that I would watch it again. I just remember it being a lot
Better.
Yeah. It feels like it's missing like a third of the jokes or something. Like it feels like the pacing's off for it to be a comedy.
It's
just
just
not that
slow. Yeah.
So I'm going to give this a solid 4 just so I can even the score here with you all. But in all honesty, I think I was merging the two movies together because the second one has a more explicit plot.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can read the plot details to the second one for you here, and see if that sounds more like a more interesting movie here.
Oh, he was in the movie Flipper. Remember that movie?
Oh, yes, he was. Yeah.
Flipper. Why were there so many like dolphin movies in the 90s?
I don't know.
It was a thing.
So, this is a short version of what it is. Mick and Sue continue where they left off in Crocodile Dundee. New York City drug lords are pursuing Sue for having sold evidence against them for murder. So for her safety, Mick takes her back to Australia where the gangsters follow them. Mick demonstrates his outback skills once more. That sounds like a kick-ass movie.
Yeah. Why is she selling evidence against drug lords? She's a journalist. I have a lot of questions.
Maybe to a rival gang. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But I'm trying to see if there's any other. Yeah, here's a little more. When Sue is kidnapped by crime boss Rico and his associates, when Sue's ex-husband, photographer Bob Tanner, witnesses a brutal crime and takes snapshots of the crime and sends them to Sue, Mick rescues Sue from Rico and his associates. Mick decides to take Sue back home with him to Australia as his best bet of protecting her. But when Rico and his associates arrive after tracking Sue and Mick down, Mick takes them on by doing what he does best. It's literally like Home Alone, but in the outback, and it's not silly.
That's so funny.
It's a different movie. It's a different movie.
Much different vibe. Yeah.
Yes, I know. It's pretty fucking wild.
I want to hear Brian put the doof meter away.
Yes, Brian, please put that doof meter away. Can you bring
the doof meter to work this week? Because I want to play with that.
I love it. Now, Laura, Do you? I know you usually have your you
Oh.
used to have your game, but I don't know if you have time to look up one. If not,
Yeah.
we can try a 5 degrees or 6 degrees of separation. But it's
Let
been a while.
me find. I know it's been a while since we've done this. I can
Yeah.
find somebody.
Maybe I might
Or
have one for
wait,
you.
no. What was I
all.
doing
Oh,
before? The movies, and I would give you the actors, and you would
yes.
guess the.
Yes.
Okay. It has been quite some time. Let me think briefly.
Actually, can I do
here.
it for you both?
Okay, yeah.
I think
We'll see how well this goes, but go for it.
you both have seen this movie.
Okay.
I think. And I apologize if you haven't, but it's an ensemble. I think that's kind of the thing to do is try to get an ensemble.
I
sort of
might
cast.
like know about it even if we haven't seen it, probably.
Yeah, okay. Let me start. All right, so I will start off with some of the people who were not in it much.
Okay.
Okay? Natasha Lyonne.
She's a redhead, right?
She usually is a redhead. She was in Orange is the New Black.
American Pie.
American Pie,
Okay,
yes. Okay.
Okay.
Any guesses?
American Pie.
Just go for American Pie.
How did you know I was going to say Jason Biggs next? No.
That's the only movie I can think that she's
Okay.
in for right now. Yeah.
And Brian?
Yeah, I can't think of anything else that she's in.
Okay. Ethan Hawke.
Oh.
Ethan Hawke.
Yes, Ethan Hawke. From one of Brian's favorite movies, Before Sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing.
Green Lantern.
He was not in that, but okay.
I don't think either of them were.
Good try.
All right, this one Brian might know. I don't know if you know this actress or not, Laura, but I'm going to try.
Okay.
Jessica Henwick.
I don't know who that is.
Did you ever watch Game of Thrones at all,
Not
Laura?
really.
No? Okay. Brian, Jessica Henwick was in Iron Fist and Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a guess? Don't
Don't
look her up. Don't look up the movies she's been in, Brian.
No.
He's
Let me
like,
see what
Jessica
people look
Henwick
like.
movies.
No. Yeah, that guy gives me nothing.
Yeah, I know.
No? All right. Now I'm going to start moving into main character energy here.
Okay.
Well, there's one more big name, but not a main character. Okay.
Okay.
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant and Ethan Hawke.
Hugh
and they're
Grant
not like
is. No, I'm kidding. I know you know who Hugh Grant is.
And they're not like the main characters.
No. Now, yes, Hugh Grant was in Paddington. He wasn't a main character in there and in Cloud Atlas. I know, but it's not that. I haven't said Tom Hanks yet.
Ethan Hawke, Natasha Lyonne.
I got nothing still. I'm going to need
Okay.
more.
Catherine Hahn.
Oh my God. I wish I knew like the genre of this movie.
If I said that, that could give it away.
I feel like I'm going to be very bad at this game. I still have nothing.
Turning the tables on you.
Nope, I got nothing.
Brian, nothing yet? Okay, I've got 3 more names. Okay, these are going to go from, these are main characters of the movie, main actors, and it's going to go from third most to lead, okay?
Yep.
I think this might give it away.
You probably are wrong.
Edward Norton.
Is it Glass Onion?
Yes, it's
I
Glass Onion.
almost said Knives
I
Out,
don't
but I
remember
couldn't
Ethan
think of
Hawke
the.
in it.
Ethan Hawke was the guy on the bridge who gives them the cure for COVID before they get onto the actual
Oh.
boat.
I
He was in it
almost.
for like a second.
I was going to say Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's the voice of the dong that tells the hour that goes
Oh,
by.
yeah.
I should have said it. Well, Knives Out was wrong, anyways. But
I was thinking of doing Knives Out, but
Yeah.
I wanted to do like not an easier one, but it was a
Yeah.
more recent one. So I wanted to do
Yeah.
that first because the new one comes out this year.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I know. Okay, good job. We didn't even get to the last
Alright.
two. I was going to do Janelle Monáe next and then Daniel Craig. So good job. You guys did it. You solved
Brian
it.
did it.
Yeah, we solved the puzzle.
But you knew, you had an idea.
Yeah, I should have just said it. Yeah,
Did you see Glass Onion? I forget.
yeah I did.
Yes,
Yeah.
perfect. Cool. Well, great job. I'm proud of you both. Yeah. Cool. I think that's it.
That's
Brian,
it.
how do people listen to this?
If you want to go to the land down under, please go to Butt Sunning with Brian.
Under these nuts.
That's it. You can find our podcast and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye. Nor.
Arnar. We got no Arnars.
No.